Here we have the Winols demonstration screen as it opens. This is a Winols demo version. You can download this from evc.de and it's free to use in this condition. It does not have all functions. At the moment, having first opened it, you can see that much of it is greyed out. That's not because the functions don't work, it's simply because we haven't got a project open. So what I'll do is I'll open a project. Now, when you use this for the first time, the open button is obviously not going to open anything because you haven't got anything to go and search for opening. This is recent documents, and again, these recent files you haven't got if you're just a starter. So if we go to new, it will give us a choice of where we can get our new file from. Now we can search for a file. If we've left it on the desktop, it might be on the desktop. There's one here in my documents and it's near the top of the list, so it's been picked up there. So if I click that one, that will open that one. Now I'm getting what you could call a warning pop up here. I'm being told that this is a file I've used before, and so I should cancel the import and just open the one I've used before. But of course, if I do that, it will have changes that I've already made, so that will be no good to demonstrate a file. So I'm going to ignore and click OK. Right, now I'm being told that there are no checksums available. Now the reason for that is that this is the Winols demonstration version. If this was Winols paid for version, and had I paid for the checksums for this file, then I would now get an option. In other words, there would be things for me to do. The checksums might be okay, they might need updating. But as this is just a demonstration file, there's nothing I can do but click OK. Right, now I get a project properties box. Now the project properties box can be opened any time by clicking on project and searching down the drop down menu. Over here there's a lot of information that I could put in. Now if you're a beginner, you're probably not going to worry too much about names of files and custom numbers and license plates and so on, but you might want to. I mean, so you can fill that in if you want. These boxes are often blank, but sometimes there's enough information in the file for Winols to grab and put on here, and it has. It's decided it's a passenger car, a VW and a Passat. I could add in it's a B5 if I want. I could say what model is it? It's a 1.9 TD PDI, so I can choose that from the list. If I go over and click on displacement, that information will be auto-entered. So there we go, turbo diesel 1.9. I can put in there that it's a 130 because I know it's a 130. Now up here there's one thing that's quite handy to put in, and that's what build it is. Now I'm not sure exactly which build this one is, but it's an EDC 15, so what I'll do is I'll put EDC 15 in, at least to remind me that that's what this one was. Lots of other bits and pieces that you could add or change, but there is no point in doing these things when you're a beginner because you may never need to use them. So what we'll do is we'll save it. Now we've got our file now, and if we look up here, most of these things now look as if they're going to become active. They're not greyed out, they look active, and we've got a file. Now the file is not in regular numbers at the moment because what it's actually in is in 16-bit view, that's 16-bit view, and it's in hexadecimal, which is FF. If I press the 255 button, I now got a decimal view, so there we are, we've got a decimal view. So I've got 16-bit decimal view, or I've got 16-bit hexadecimal view, which I won't change back to. Now another view that's quite handy is the 8-bit view. Now there's the 8-bit decimal view, and if I want I can have the 8-bit hexadecimal view. Now what view you choose to use for these files is entirely up to you. You will get used to a view that suits you, and that's the one that you can operate in. I would recommend as a beginner that you started in 16-bit decimal because the numbers do seem to make more sense. Right, there we go. Then we've got numbers. We've got a label for our Passat dump. Look, there we are, VW Passat original. Says underneath that this is a hex dump. There we are, hex dump. It starts at 00000. We've got my maps, but of course we haven't got any because we haven't found any yet. Potential maps 84.